As far as your yoga retreats and what you do as, in your professional day-to-day work, you've built a platform around words like wellness, bodywork, retreats, and divine feminine. So can you talk a little bit about what those terms personally mean to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Wellness is, to me, I went down a rabbit hole of definitions recently because I thought it was really interesting to pick that apart. But to me, it's not just this abstract noun. It's a commitment. It's a practice. Wellness is daily choices that are contributing to the well-being, the health of your mind, body, spirit. So it's the lifestyle. I know that's such a cliche thing to say, but I really feel that's accurate. Yeah.
Okay, what about like divine feminine?
I know this one is really buzzwordy lately, and it's a hot topic, and I think there's a lot of distortion that goes on around that, so I'm happy to kind of clarify, and I'm by no means perfect in this realm. It's something that I'm really trying to work on, because as I mentioned, I grew up with a lot of masculine energy in my family. My mom was absolutely wonderful, still is absolutely wonderful, but again, we were very athletic, masculine energy focused house and stuff, and because of that high energy, I didn't feel super in touch with my softer, slower, more intuitive side for a lot of my life, and that's something I cultivated in my mid-20s. So divine feminine, to me, it's important to say that there's no particular aesthetic that is the picture of divine feminine. It's not a look, it's not an outfit that you wear, and it's not perfection, and it's not just being a gooey girl with no boundaries and spreading love and light. To me, it is a balance of being in the yin energy, the softness, and in the warmth, and in the nurturing, and it's also the depths. It's really big, raw emotion. I mean, we are the cycle of death and rebirth, so with that is a lot of, like, I don't want to say harshness, but it can be quite intense when we have to breathe into those life and death cycles, and Kali is the goddess of destruction, of illusion, and things like that. So I think that there is a misconception right now in some of the greater conversation, like divine feminine is just wearing the dresses and being submissive and only having kind thoughts. And I do think that in this current society, we are primarily masculine energy driven, and we could use some more softness, absolutely, across the board, regardless of your gender, but not to be mistaken with like it's only that side of it,
Okay. And what about body work and retreats? Because you're kind of moving into doing more retreats now. Do these tie together? Like all of these, I'm guessing, kind of tie together within the scope of what you try to...
Yeah, absolutely. So body work, I practice Reiki, and I also practice Balinese massage. So those are my ways that I do body work. Reiki technically is energy work, but I do some hands-on approaches within that. And then I like to combine that with the Balinese massage. Balinese meaning like from Bali. I did a short training in Bali last fall for that. And combining that with retreats, I guess kind of bringing it all together, and we can talk more about retreat structure, but as you mentioned earlier, a lot of us really struggle to take a vacation. And while retreats absolutely can be action-packed with things to do, I think it's really important to find a level of softness and surrender, not having to do anything, and find that relaxation quality in there, moving into that feminine energy, and also nurturing one another and holding people in their emotions and holding ourselves in our emotions and tending to that, and maybe feeling into the really big, deep things in our heart space that we've been distracting ourselves from. And now in a retreat, you're just really in a vacuum of this space of just you, yourself, and your sisters, or if it's a co-ed retreat, all your community, to turn towards all the stuff within that requires a lot of tenderness and also can be quite raw and big depending on what comes up. So yeah.
Okay, and are your retreats female only, or do you do co-ed, or what?
I do both. My last retreat in Sedona second to last was female only. I did a one night in North County that was co-ed. My Joshua Tree one will be co-ed.
Okay.
TBD on Mexico. I haven't decided.
Okay, all right. We'll be looking out for those details.
You'll be in Europe anyways. So.
Yeah. Maybe the Mexico one, though. I've actually never been to Mexico before. So that could be
Really?
I know. I've only actually ever been to Canada. and mostly because my family is from Canada. My mom's from Montreal. So I've been to Canada. I haven't been to Mexico, even though I live in San Diego. I know. I'm working on it.
You've been to Hawaii.
Hawaii, exactly. 3 times, actually, but not Mexico. And then this will be my first time in Europe. So as I mentioned, I've changed careers a couple of times, and throughout the course of my life, not to make this about me, but I've worked a lot of contract positions, and I haven't had a lot of like paid time off and stuff. And when you work contract positions, it's often difficult to take vacation, because when you're working a lot of contract positions and you're not salaried, you not only have to pay to go on the vacation, but you also are not getting paid when you're not working.
PTO. You get paid for the work you do.
Right, exactly. So it's kind of like you're paying twice, because you're not making a paycheck and you're paying to go on vacation. So I'm working to fix that. I would love to travel more, and I think I'm actually in the process of renewing my passport right now. So I think
Step in the right direction.
Yes,
There you go.
I think I'm going to be doing some more traveling here soon. So I'm looking forward to that.